Morning. My name is Cuban. I've been in the racing industry for 55 years, and in that time there have been lots of things that have come and gone, and one of the most important things that has gone completely is the Tic Tac. The racecourse Tic Tac was probably the most important part of the racing industry for a bookmaker, and the reason why a Tic Tac was developed was purely for secrecy. We didn't want people to know exactly what we were doing, showing or trading. For example, if a bookmaker, big bookmaker at the time, had a famous punter betting with him, let's say it was the Aggie Can. The Aggie Can sign would be Crown. His workmen would know exactly who he meant if the Aggie Can, or this on the Aggie Can, had a sizable wager. It would be shown to the Tic Tac first £1,000 at 6-4. That bet would be transferred into the ring, and obviously the bookmaker would try and trade himself a percentage of profit out of that bet. But he could have 100 clients, all with different signs, all known only to him and his workmen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a breakthrough in this art that, as I said, is dying, and I would know in 2 or 3 years' time there will be no Tic Tacs at all, other than the fools who pretend to be bookmakers. The main one is John McCurry. He can't Tic Tac, he wouldn't know how to train in Tic Tac, and he knows nothing at all about the industry other than a few little signs that he shows to his co-workers. We also have a very important aspect, and that is the entertainment of the Tic Tac. In the 1930s, 40s, there would be at least 200-300 people who would go to the races and spend a considerable time doing nothing else but watching the tipsters and the Tic Tac. The Tic Tac was a personality, a professional industry that was actually working a very minute part of the industry, which was trading. It's now being overtaken by computers, of course, but I think it's a loss, and it will be lost completely. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to try and show you exactly all the signs that a Tic Tac knew, and perhaps in time you can have a bit of fun passing it down to your children so they can have a bit of a laugh now and again with their school chums, showing some of the important signs that made up the industry of the Tic Tac. Okay, let's have a bit of fun. It's, people may well find that it is funny in their eyes, but I'll explain why it was so important in the period, certainly during the wars. During this period, horse racing became very popular, and extra rings would open. In other words, from the tassels and members' enclosure, it would evolve to a silver ring, then a cheap enclosure, outside rings, and it was all a sort of a race, a class structure. You know, I mean, there were members for the members, the elite, and there was the silver ring for the traders, and there was the outside and the cheap enclosures for the rabble. And what happened was that during this important period, bookmakers realised that there was need for a lot of inter-trading between the big bookmakers in the members and the poorer bookmakers in the silver rings. Business was very, very big. It was people had come back from the war with their furloughs and the money that they couldn't obviously spend during the war, and there was a lot of money about. And this period was probably in horse racing the golden period. So imagine you'll first probably saying to your friends now, why the white gloves? I don't want you to think I'm Al Jolson. What is his natural fact? During this period, you were quite away from the actual tassel ring, so you had to be seen. If it was bad weather or a bit dark, you had to actually be seen. So first thing you had to do was the signs had to be precise, accurate, and we were always told to show with a bit of panache, a bit of class. And we would show from ring to ring and the gloves obviously allow people to see you from as far as 300-400 yards away. I'll give you a rundown first from even money straight out to 100. Nice and slow so you can remember them, but I will exactly later, I will show you exactly what they were and why were they so significant. We'll start off with even money. 11 to 10, 6 to 5, 5 to 4, 11 to 8, 6 to 4, 13 to 8, 7 to 4, 15 to 8, 2 to 1, 9 to 4, 5 to 2, 11 to 4, 3 to 1, 130, 4 or 4. The reason for that was that during the ground racing, the ground boom of the 30s and 40s, a lot of the ground racing of course was at night under false lighting, so there could have been too far away, too close proximity between 1, 4 and 5. So the Birmingham bookmakers were very clever, very shrewd. They decided to take it out and put 4 in its place. So we had 1, 4, 5. But now we go up to 3. We will now go, as I've said, 130, 7 to 2, 4 to 1, 9 to 2, 5 to 1, 11 to 2, which is 5.5, 6 to 1, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 20, 25, 33, 50, 66 and 100.